Good afternoon, Jets Nation. Welcome to the Jets Show. Today was an absolutely chaotic day for the New York Jets, so let's go ahead and recap it all. So first off, we re-signed backup guard Jacob Hansen. Last season, he was, a solid backup for us. He started in 4 games towards the end of the year whenever literally every single offensive lineman got hurt. We signed him off the street onto the practice squad and then onto the practice squad from the active roster. And he was solid in 4 games he started. Probably is going to end up being a camp body. Maybe he makes the 53-man roster, but, this isn't a re-signing you can complain about. But a re-signing that you have to be happy about is CJ Mosley. So the Jets restructured / re-signed Mosley today, and I absolutely love this move. So CJ Mosley was set to have a cap hit of $21 million this upcoming season, but now the cap hit has been significantly lowered. He essentially signed a 2-year, $17.25 million deal with the Jets that basically replaces the final year of his deal this upcoming season, and also adds another year onto his contract. So he's essentially going to be a free agent in 2026 with the Jets. So CJ Mosley's a Jet for the next 2 years. His cap hit has been lowered, and the New York Jets create cap space. How much cap space? About $12 million. So now the Jets are sitting with around $25 million in cap space to work with and continue to add to this team. And I absolutely love CJ Mosley for restructuring his contract. I mean, this is someone that has just loved everything about the Jets the moment he got here. This is someone that has been so passionate about this team, someone that has been a leader on and off the field for the New York Jets, and this is someone that you just want to keep around in New York for the long term. And I'm absolutely stoked that the New York Jets were able to figure something out with CJ Mosley to keep him around. So those were the only 2 signings that the Jets made today, but there was a whole lot of Jets-related news. So first off, we got some former Jet things to talk about. So Jordan Whitehead signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Mekhi Becton visited the Cincinnati Bengals, and Quentin Jefferson signed to the Cleveland Browns. And former New York Jet and former NFL wide receiver Corey Davis unretired from the NFL, and the New York Jets released him from the reserve / retired list. So now Corey Davis is a free agent, free to sign with any team, and a return to the New York Jets is definitely possible. And Corey Davis unretiring is not something that hasn't been talked about in the past. I remember towards the end of last season when the Jets were trying to make that late playoff push, there was some smoke that Corey Davis might be unretiring and rejoining the New York Jets. There was some talk about it this offseason, and where there's smoke, there's fire, and this fire was lit. Corey Davis is back in the NFL, but it might not be with the New York Jets. There is a chance he re-signs with the team, but there's also a chance he goes on to another team and plays with them in 2024. But nonetheless, Corey Davis hasn't retired and is back in the NFL. So congrats on your short retirement, Corey Davis, but congrats on being back in the NFL. It has also been reported that Allen Lazard has been made available in trade talks, but the New York Jets aren't actively shopping him, which makes sense because why would you be actively trying to shop Allen Lazard? Why would you waste time on that? I mean, he was horrible for the Jets last year, is on a horrible contract. Nobody's going to willingly trade for Lazard. But he's being made available in trade talks because let's say the Jets and, the Broncos work out a deal because the Broncos have reportedly shown interest in Zach Wilson, and they say, hey, we're going to also throw in Allen Lazard in the deal if you want him. That's the sort of thing that they're talking about with him being made available in trade talks. Hopefully Allen Lazard is dealt so the Jets can just get rid of his contract, free up some cap space for this year, but it doesn't sound like he's going to get traded, and it's probably going to be a Jet in 2024. And while we're on the topic of wide receivers, there's another wide receiver related story that we have to talk about because the New York Jets are considered a dark horse team for wide receiver Tyler Boyd. Now, before free agency started, it was reported that the New York Jets were going to be interested in the former Cincinnati Bengal, and throughout this free agent process, he's mostly been linked to the Pittsburgh Steelers as he's from Pittsburgh and they have a need at the wide receiver position, especially after trading away Deontay Johnson. He's also been linked to the Kansas City Chiefs and also the New York Jets because they most recently have been named a dark horse team for Boyd. So who knows if we're going to end up signing him. We could swoop in and sign Boyd, but nonetheless, glad that we are, being considered a dark horse team for Tyler Boyd and that the Jets have interest in him. The Jets also have interest in re-signing defensive tackle Solomon Thomas. Now, the Jets have done a lot of work this offseason to re-up their defensive tackle room. They signed Javon Kinlaw, they signed Leke Fotu, and they just need one more spot to complete the room. With Quentin Jefferson signing with the Browns, he's off the table. But Solomon Thomas is still a free agent. This is someone the New York Jets absolutely love. And if they want to add another, former first-round pick to this defensive room, why not re-sign Solomon Thomas? And the last thing we're going to be talking about is the fact that Jadeveon Clowney is set to meet with the New York Jets next week. Earlier in the week, he met with the Carolina Panthers, and he doesn't have any other meetings scheduled with any other teams, but the New York Jets are interested in Clowney, as they should be. I mean, they need to add another edge rusher to that room after Bryce Huff signed with the Philadelphia Eagles. And Clowney, in my opinion, would be the perfect guy to fit that build. He's a longtime NFL veteran. I don't think Clowney's going to break the bank for any team. I mean, I could see the Carolina Panthers overpaying for Jadeveon Clowney, but Clowney's someone that was on a $2 million deal with the Ravens last year. I mean, he signed contracts up to $13 million in his career before, but I think Clowney's probably going to be somewhere in that $7 to $8 million range. Somewhere like that, which is definitely reasonable for Clowney, who had 9.5 sacks last season and is also a fantastic run stopper. This would be an amazing signing for the New York Jets, another piece to add to this rotational depth room. Also, another former first-round pick would be added to this defense because Clowney was a former number 1 overall pick, but super happy the Jets are meeting with Jadeveon Clowney, and hopefully a deal with him is ended up being made. But ladies and gentlemen, what are you guys' thoughts on today's video? What are your thoughts on all the moves the Jets have made? Let me know down below. But I'm your host, Stuart, signing off for now. See you guys later. Peace.